Imagine your loved one passes away with box braids in their hair, and you as the family tell the funeral director that you've entrusted with their care that you want their box braids removed so that their hair can be styled for their service. Fast forward and imagine that funeral director in the embalming room cutting your loved one's box braids from the scalp, in turn cutting off all of their hair. This was the exact scenario that I walked into as a person being trained to become a funeral director, and as part of the motivation, or one of the stories that motivated me to found the Multicultural Death and Grief Care Academy, where I educate funeral, death, end of life, and grief care professionals about not only cultural competency as it relates to death and dying, but where I specialize in training these professionals about caring for the hair, skin, and cosmetic needs with Black, marginalized, and Indigenous communities. This is so important because, as we know in the Black community, one of the first questions that we ask is who got the body? And we're not asking that because we're so well versed in what happens in the embalming room. We're really worried about how our loved ones are going to be presented back to us. And so I'm sharing this story to say that there's a lot that happens, both good and bad, in each and every industry. However, in mortuary science and funeral service, traditionally, care, especially for Black bodies, has not been a priority in our education system. And my academy works very, very hard behind the scenes to not only change that narrative, but educate professionals, specifically in the funeral and death care industry, about caring for our hair, our cosmetic needs, about having conversations and using appropriate language when engaging, especially with Black families. So I invite you, if you're a death care professional, end of life care professional, health or grief care professional, to visit www.thegravewoman.com, where you can learn not only about cultural competency, but learn specialized technical skills such as shampooing, detangling, and conditioning textured hair, properly caring for and providing cosmetic care to melanated skin, and learning how to have conversations about all aspects of end-of-life death and grief care. Live life, love hard, and I'll talk to you next time. I've recently reopened 5 self-study Black death care courses on my website, www.thegravewoman.com. They range from shampooing and conditioning, caring for locks, removing braids and extensions, and the Melanin Makeup Masterclass, just to name a few. If you're interested, please visit www.thegravewoman.com.